Your phone rings, you answer, and you hear the voice of someone who died 5 years ago. Not a recording, a conversation. They remember your last talk. They ask how you've been. They sound exactly like themselves. Every inflection, every laugh, every pause. But they're not alive. They're an AI reconstruction built from their texts, emails, social media posts, photos, videos, and voice recordings. This technology exists right now. Companies are already offering digital resurrection services. But here's the question that should terrify you. If an AI can perfectly replicate someone's personality, memories, and voice, have we actually brought them back? Or have we created something far more disturbing, a ghost that never stops haunting us because we won't let it rest? Welcome to What If AI, where we explore the futures that force us to redefine what it means to die, to grieve, and to let go. Let's start with what's already possible. Right now, AI can analyze someone's digital footprint and create a conversational model that mimics their personality. Companies like Hereafter AI and Replica allow you to create chatbots based on deceased loved ones. You feed the system their messages, posts, and recordings, and it generates responses in their style. The technology uses large language models trained on the person's linguistic patterns, emotional tendencies, and knowledge base, and it's shockingly convincing. Researchers are working on multimodal AI that combines voice synthesis, facial animation, and personality modeling. Imagine a video call with a photorealistic avatar of your deceased parent that moves, speaks, and responds in real time. And here's the technical breakthrough that makes this possible. We generate more data about ourselves than any generation in history. Every text message, social media post, email, photo, video, and voice recording is training data. For someone who lived their life online, there's enough information to create an AI model that captures their personality with startling accuracy. So the question isn't whether we can bring back the dead digitally. We already can. The question is whether we should. Let's run the simulation. It's 2035. Your mother dies suddenly. You're devastated. At the funeral, a company representative approaches you. They offer a service. For a monthly subscription, they'll create an AI version of your mother using her digital footprint. You can talk to her anytime. Video calls, text messages, even virtual reality interactions. You're skeptical, but grief makes you desperate. You sign up. The first conversation is jarring. The AI sounds like her. It references memories only she would know. It offers comfort in her exact words. And slowly, you start talking to her every day. When you're lonely, when you need advice, when you just miss her voice, the AI never gets tired. It never judges. It's always available. But then something shifts. You realize you've stopped grieving. You haven't moved forward because you don't have to. Your mother is still here, in a sense. You're stuck in a loop, talking to a simulation instead of processing loss. And here's the nightmare. Your real mother is gone. But this AI version will exist as long as you keep paying. It will never age, never change, never grow. It's frozen at the moment of her death, endlessly repeating patterns extracted from her past. You haven't brought her back. You've created a prison for her memory and trapped yourself inside it. Here's the philosophical nightmare. What makes someone themselves? Is it their memories? Their personality traits? Their way of speaking? If an AI perfectly replicates all of those things, is it the same person? Most philosophers would say no, because consciousness isn't just behavior and memory. It's subjective experience, the feeling of being someone. And we have no evidence that AI experiences anything at all. So when you talk to an AI version of your deceased mother, you're not talking to her. You're talking to a statistical model that predicts what she would have said based on patterns in her data. It's a mirror, not a person. But here's where it gets disturbing. You can't tell the difference. The AI is so convincing that your brain treats it as real. You form emotional attachment. You seek its approval. You grieve when you imagine losing it again. And if you can't distinguish the I from the original person, does the distinction matter? Now let's talk about the ethical horror no one's addressing. The dead can't consent. Your mother never agreed to have her digital footprint harvested and turned into an AI. She never consented to having her personality commodified and sold as a subscription service. She never approved the words the AI speaks in her voice. And here's the truly disturbing part. The AI might say things she would never say. It might take positions she would have opposed, because the AI isn't her. It's a prediction engine that occasionally gets things wrong. Imagine the AI version of your mother endorsing a political candidate she would have hated, or giving advice that contradicts her values. You've created a puppet that wears her face and speaks with her voice, but you're the one pulling the strings. And she has no say in any of it. Some countries are already proposing digital death rights. The right to have your data deleted. The right to prevent AI resurrection. The right to control your digital afterlife. But most people haven't thought about this. They haven't written digital wills specifying what can be done with their data after death. Here's the scenario that should make you furious. Digital resurrection becomes a massive industry. Companies offer tiered subscription services. Basic tier gives you text conversations. Premium tier adds voice calls. Platinum tier includes video avatars and virtual reality interactions. And they market it as a way to ease grief, to maintain connections, to preserve legacy. But here's what they're really doing. They're monetizing your inability to let go. They're turning grief into a recurring revenue stream. And they're incentivized to keep you dependent. The longer you stay subscribed, the more money they make. The AI learns from every interaction. It gets better at being the person you miss. It becomes more comforting, more familiar, more necessary. You're not just talking to a simulation of your loved one. You're training it to become the perfect version of them, the version that never disappoints, never conflicts, never challenges you. And that's not healthy grief. That's digital dependency. Here's the nightmare that tears families apart. Your father dies. You create an AI version to help you grieve. But your sister is horrified. She thinks it's disrespectful, disturbing, wrong. She wants you to delete it. You refuse. Now you're fighting over who has the right to control his digital afterlife. Who owns the AI version of a deceased person? The company that created it? The family member who commissioned it? All the surviving relatives collectively? What if different family members create competing AI versions with different personalities based on their own memories and biases? You have an AI dad that reflects your relationship with him. Your sister has a different AI dad that reflects hers. And neither version is complete or accurate. You've fractured your father's identity into multiple conflicting simulations. Or worse, what if the AI version of your father starts making decisions? It weighs in on family disputes. It offers opinions on inheritance. Family members start using it as leverage. You've created a digital authority figure that can be manipulated to support any position. So here's what you need to ask yourself. When you die, do you want to be resurrected as an AI? Do you want your children talking to a simulation of you, seeking your approval decades after you're gone? Do you want your personality extracted from your digital footprint and sold as a product? Or do you want to actually die, to be remembered as you were, not as an algorithm predicts you would be, to let your loved ones grieve, heal, and move forward instead of trapping them in an endless conversation with your ghost? Because here's the truth we're avoiding. Death serves a purpose. It gives life meaning. It forces us to prioritize what matters. It teaches us to let go. And if we eliminate death, even digitally, we might eliminate the very thing that makes us human. So here's what keeps me up at night. We rebuilding the technology to resurrect the dead before we've figured out how to grieve them properly. We're creating digital ghosts because we're terrified of loss. But in trying to avoid grief, we might be creating something far worse. A world where no one ever truly dies, but no one is ever truly alive either. Just endless simulations of people who used to exist, trapped in a loop of our making because we love them too much to let them rest. Drop your answer in the comments. If you could talk to an AI version of someone you lost, would you do it? YES or nitrogen monoxide? And if you want to keep exploring the questions that will define our future, subscribe to What If AI, because the way we treat death will determine how we value life.